Oga Ka sends his apologies. He'll join you shortly. Please help yourselves. Finally, something to calm the nerves. It's not even 11 a.m. Exactly. Free is free, my dear. Not today. Nobody just gives champagne for free before an interview. Relax, Jare. It's not a test.
Now who send you come carry file for us? Oga's driver or na the generator man?
Every frame on this wall is mine.
Don't mind them. Champagne before noon, on an empty stomach, it does things to people.
Does it?
The ones who shouldn't drink always drink the most when it's free.
So, what did all of you actually come here for? And I mean really. I'll start some clearly only honest one here. I'm not here for career growth, I have a lifestyle to maintain. I'm Achkir Couture, just strategy. At least you're self-aware. My situation is different. I have my own line, small, struggling, but it has potential. As his PA, I'd have full access to his client base, his tutor to handle. Chidera? Wrong number.
Nobody believes her.
My name is... You'll want to hear the rest of that sentence, because in the next 5 minutes, everything in this room changes. Kingsley didn't start in Lekio. He started in Ariaria Market in Aba, in his uncle's cramped little tailoring shop, sweeping thread off the floor for pocket change, watching hands cut fabric the way other boys watched football. Nobody taught him to see the way he sees. He could look at a man's shoulders and know, before the man even opened his mouth, what cut would make him stand differently in a room. 12 years. 3 suppliers who cheated him blind before he learned to read a contract properly. 1 business partner, his best friend from secondary school, who disappeared one Christmas with half his client list and never once picked up his calls again. And his stubbornness, people mistook for pride. But it was really just a boy from Aba refusing to go back to sweeping floors. By 34, K Couture had 3 showrooms across Lagos, an import line pulling fabric from Istanbul, Guangzhou, the cloth markets of Kampala, a ready-to-wear collection that sold out in hours. He rarely gave interviews. He let the clothes speak. Walk past him on the street in his slippers and his plain t-shirt, you would never guess he's the man half of Lagos society is waiting on for their next event outfit. That was exactly how he liked it. But quiet men who build loud things, they attract attention they didn't ask for. 3 months before this story really begins, Kingsley had a personal assistant named Chidera. Sharp, always 10 minutes early. The kind of person who finishes your sentence correctly before you even finish it. She held every key. Supplier contacts, the client book, warehouse codes, the shipment calendar. She was the kind of staff that lets a business owner sleep at night without one worry following him into the dark. Then, while Kingsley was in Abuja for a trade showcase, an unknown number sent him a message. Check your CCTV from Thursday night. Your PA is not who you think she is. He almost deleted it. He almost gave Chidera the benefit of a doubt she had done nothing lately to lose. He checked the footage instead. What he saw sat wrong in his chest for days. Chidera, pacing the back office at midnight, phone pressed to her ear, pointing at the import racks, giving directions, specific directions, on how to strip the warehouse clean. He flew back to Lagos that same night. The next morning, he placed a printed still from the footage on the desk between them and said nothing. Let the picture do the talking.
Chidera looked at it, looked away. I can explain.
You can leave, he said. Your last pay is already sent. I don't want drama. I just want you gone. Not loud. Just the particular quiet of a man who has learned that shouting is wasted on people who already knew exactly what they were doing. Now, here's what Kingsley never thought to ask himself. Who sends an anonymous tip like that? And why? He was too busy grieving the betrayal to notice the shape of the rescue. That question is going to matter more than he knows. While Kingsley was firing Chidera, a young woman named Amara, everybody called her Ama, was sitting on the floor of a single room in Yaba, laptop balanced on her knees, refreshing her email for the, honestly, probably the 12th time before 7 a.m. She was 23, a diploma in fashion management hanging on the wall, a sketchbook full of silhouettes nobody had paid her to draw yet. She'd worked briefly at a boutique in Surulere that shut down without warning. She'd done social media for an online store that paid her 3 months late and then folded on the 4th. 11 applications sent out, 3 rejections. The rest? Silence. The kind that's louder than a no. She had started to wonder, quietly, not the way you wonder out loud to your friends, but the way that's harder to shake off alone at night. Whether the industry simply wasn't opening for anybody, or whether it just wasn't opening for her. That Tuesday, Kingsley posted the PA vacancy at K Couture. By Wednesday morning, he had over 200 applications. He shortlisted 5.
Amara's hands went still when she saw the post. She read the requirements twice, took a breath, closed the laptop, and knelt right there on the bare floor beside her reading table and prayed the most honest prayer she'd said in months. If this one is mine, let it be mine without me fighting people for it. No drama, no luck, know who you know. If it's mine, let it just be clear. She sent the application. Then she spent 3 days preparing like the job already belonged to her, and she simply wasn't going to be the one to disappoint it. Studying Kay's collections from the very beginning, mapping out his import model, writing notes on the supplier gaps she'd noticed most ready-to-wear brands never fix. She practiced her answers into her bathroom mirror until they stopped sounding rehearsed and started sounding like conversation. She couldn't afford a new outfit, so she ironed the rust orange dress that had hung in her wardrobe since Christmas and decided the rest was God's business.
The morning of the interviews, Kingsley stood in front of his mirror in a sharp charcoal 3-piece, the kind of outfit that announces a man before he even opens his mouth. He reached for his cufflink drawer. It stuck. On the second pull, the seam of his jacket sleeve gave way with a small, decisive rip. He stood very still, looked at the tear, exhaled. Then he pulled out something plainer. Dark trousers, a simple white shirt, no jacket, his old leather slippers because his dress shoes were still at the cobbler's. Nothing about him screamed owner of the company. It felt like a small inconvenience. It was not. But he didn't know that yet. Before he left the house, he'd also prayed, the way he rarely let himself pray out loud. Show me clearly this time. Let me not be fooled twice by somebody good at pretending. If you're just catching this story now, don't scroll past yet. What happens in that waiting room in the next few minutes is the reason people are still talking about this interview 8 months later.
The K Couture Lekki showroom that morning received 5 candidates, each dressed with full intention. Sonia arrived in a sharp power blazer and heels she'd clearly rehearsed walking in the night before, confidence already arranged on her face before she even crossed the threshold. Adaze wore a jewel-toned wrap dress, bold enough to impress, careful enough to still read as professional. Blessing,
everyone would come to call her Bambi, floated in wearing soft lilac, gold hoops catching the studio light. Jane came in a structured navy two-piece that said, "I am serious," without wasting one extra word on it. And Amara wore her rust orange dress. Simple, put together, the kind of effort that looks effortless only because none of it was accidental. They were shown into the waiting lounge. Exposed brick, framed campaign photography, fabric swatches mounted like art in shadow boxes. A receptionist appeared with a tray. "Oga K sends his apologies. He'll join you shortly. Please, help yourselves." Champagne, a full bottle, 5 glasses, already poured. 3 hands moved before she'd even finished the sentence. Jane took hers politely and set it untouched on the side table. Adaze held hers a moment, then quietly returned it to the tray. Nobody in that room knew Kingsley was already inside the building, not even the receptionist. Nobody told them that free champagne before noon on an empty stomach isn't hospitality. It's a mirror.
Sonia was on her second glass before the small talk even settled. Her shoulders dropped, her chin lifted, the performance of composure quietly giving way to something looser and far more honest. A Daisy's laugh had grown edges, amused now at things only half funny. Bambi had one shoe off, her third glass forgotten mid-air in her hand, her careful morning unraveling gently at the seams. That was when the side door opened. Kingsley walked in from the internal corridor, folder under one arm, heading nowhere near the waiting area, just cutting through on his way to the fitting room. He was 3 steps from the exit when Sonia looked up, caught the plain shirt, the slippers, the folder, and laughed out loud. Now who send you come carry file for us? Oga's driver? Or not the generator man? Laughter rippled, a Daisy wiping a tear from the corner of her eye, Bambi giggling into her glass. Kingsley stood very still. He looked at the girl, at the glass in her hand, at the acrylic sign mounted directly above her head, K Couture, clean gold letters, and then at the wall of campaign photography behind her. Every single frame on that wall was his work.
He could have ended it right there, in 4 words. He chose not to. Not yet. He walked to the back row instead and sat quietly between the girl in navy, who had gone very still, and the girl in rust orange, who hadn't touched her champagne at all. He set his folder on his lap, breathed slowly, told himself, "Watch. These are the 5 people I came here to interview." The girl beside him leaned in slightly. "Don't mind them," Amara said, quiet enough only for him to hear. "Champagne before noon on an empty stomach? It does things to people." "Does it?" he said. "The ones who shouldn't drink always drink the most when it's free." Kingsley almost smiled. Not quite. Sonia leaned forward, glass balanced carelessly between 2 fingers, and asked the question that changed everything. "So, what did all of you actually come here for? And I mean really?" Careful, brief answers went round the circle first. Fashion background, styling experience, boutique management. Kingsley didn't move. Then Sonia laughed, loose, unguarded. "I'll start then, since I'm clearly the only honest one here." She sat back. "I'm not here for career growth. I have a lifestyle to maintain. My followers, my friends, they all think I'm already doing well. And they're not completely wrong. If I'm working inside K Couture, I have access to the pieces. I borrow a few, I post them, my page stays exactly where it needs to be. Nobody has to know I have a 9 to 5. Just strategy." A scattered laugh went round. Kingsley's jaw tightened. He kept his eyes forward.
Adesi raised her glass in a small toast to Sonia and set it down. At least you're self-aware. My situation is different. I have my own line. Small, struggling, but it has potential. What it doesn't have is a client base or supplier contacts. As his PA, I'd have full access to both. I'd redirect a few of his underserved clients, build my own supplier relationships on the side. I'm not stealing. I'm fishing from a full pool. He has more than he can handle. I'd just be helping the overflow find somewhere better to go. Kingsley exhaled slowly through his nose. He had prayed that morning to be shown clearly. He had not expected Clarity to arrive dressed this well.
Bambi's confession never came, because at that exact moment, her phone buzzed loud on the glass table, screen lighting up, and Amara, sitting closest, glanced down before she could stop herself. The name on the screen read, Chidera. Amara's stomach dropped. She said nothing, but her eyes moved, just once, to the quiet man beside her in the plain white shirt, the one everyone else had mistaken for a driver. He hadn't seen the screen. Not yet. Hold that thought, because in 6 minutes, that name is going to blow this entire interview apart.
Kingsley finally rose from the back row and walked to the front of the lounge, folder still under his arm. 5 faces turned toward him, 3 of them only now beginning to register through champagne fog exactly who had been sitting among them. "My name is Kingsley Adeyemi," he said simply. "I own this company." The silence that followed had weight. Sonia's glass stopped halfway to her mouth. "I already know 2 of your reasons for being here," he continued. "Thank you for the honesty, even if it wasn't meant for my ears." His eyes moved to Bambi. "Whose call was that just now?" Bambi went pale. A friend, sir." "Her name is Chidera." The room went completely still. "She was my last assistant," Kingsley said. "I let her go 3 months ago after she was caught on camera directing a robbery on this same warehouse. And you," his eyes moved between Bambi and Sonia now, something clicking into place. "Were sent here by her, weren't you? To try again. Different faces. Same plan." Bambi's composure finally cracked completely. "It wasn't like that. She just said there'd be an opening, that we should apply. That's all, I swear." "That's exactly like that."
He turned then, and his eyes landed on Amara. 3 months ago, he said slowly, someone sent me an anonymous message, told me to check my CCTV footage from a Thursday night. I never found out who. I hired a friend in tech to trace the number afterward. Dead end. Prepaid SIM, no name attached. Except the message had one strange detail nobody else could have known. Whoever sent it mentioned the exact rack Chidera pointed to on the call. Not the warehouse, not the stock. The 3rd import rack, specifically, 2nd row.
Amara's hands had gone cold in her lap. "I used to do part-time inventory work for one of your fabric suppliers in Balogun," she said quietly, finally. "Chidera came through there twice, talking loudly on the phone like nobody could hear her. I didn't know your number. I found it through the supplier's invoice file. I sent that message because it felt wrong to know something like that and say nothing. Not because I was trying to get close to you or this company. I didn't even connect it to this interview until right now." Sitting in this room, nobody spoke. Kingsley looked at her for a long moment. The girl who hadn't touched her champagne, who'd warned him gently about a mirror before she even knew who he was, who had quietly done the right thing 3 months ago and never once mentioned it, not even to angle for credit. "You already saved this company once," he said finally. "You didn't even know it was mine yet." Sonia, Adeze, and Bambi were shown out that same afternoon. Kingsley made no scene of it,
just the same quiet, disappointment-worn tone he'd used with Chidera months earlier. Jane, who had stayed silent through it all, thanked him politely and admitted the role wasn't the right fit for her either, an honesty Kingsley respected enough to recommend her elsewhere. Amara stayed in the room after the others left. Kingsley set the folder down between them. Her application, printed, already covered in his handwritten notes from days earlier. "I shortlisted you before any of this happened," he said. "For the notes you sent on supplier gaps. I just didn't know I'd already met you." 6 months later, Amara wasn't just his assistant. She was managing the entire import relationship end to end. The gaps she'd once written about in a bathroom mirror rehearsal, now closed for good. And on the wall of the Lecky showroom, next to the campaign photography, there's one small framed printout nobody asks about unless they already know the story. A single anonymous text message, screenshotted, the sender's name still left blank. Kingsley knows exactly whose name belongs there now. He's just letting her be the one to tell it, whenever she's ready.